In a chimp scenario leading up to round 140 from round 6, you can acquire about 23,095,000 pops, give or take. So let's try and reach the 23 million mark today with the Dark Champion. A lot of the early game weight is reliant on our submarine here, and in order for us to be able to pop lead balloons, we need to go with 320 rather than the preferred route of 302. Just leave the submarine on strong to target the green balloons and then be able to clear up the weaker balloons later on as they go through the track size. Let's put down Geraldo now so that we can start his leveling up. On round 10, acquire some pickles for the submarine here so that we can deal with all these blue balloons. Otherwise, we're going to have ourselves a pierce issue here without the means of barbed darts. Enhances pierce of other weapons. Does it also include the ballistic missile there, dear Dart? Or perhaps even the plutonium reactor? Speaking of barbed darts, we really need it, otherwise we're just not going to be able to carry through these early rounds. Our pickles are going to run out on round 14, but are we going to need them for round 15 at any given point in time, since the barbed darts can kind of carry us with its increased pierce? Switch back to first, and we're going to need some luck here. That was a big amount of luck. Let's go back to first, and honestly I think this is going to be the first round where we're going to require another set of pickles because these regrows are a bit of a menace. Should go to first actually for these regrow menaces, because otherwise we're going to keep targeting the strongest most balloon, allowing the weaker ones to regrow. Not a good idea. Another tricky round here. Yeah, the funny thing about round 19 is if you leave it on strong, it enables the regrows to soar through, but if you go on first to try and deal with the regrows, then the pink balloons will just soar through. So, a glob of glue at the back there, just to get some speed control, and leave it on first so we can deal with the regrows hopefully, which are all done and dusted, which is good. And hopefully, yep, we're done with the rest of this. And this glue should carry on for a few rounds until its pierce has expired, or the amount of rounds it's been on the field has expired. I expect it to run out pretty soon. Round 22. Okay, the glue has expired at the beginning of this round. Are we going to need some more support? Because I desperately would like to get these the super monkey as soon as possible. I was supposed to say get the sun temple as soon as possible, but we may require another tub of amazing glue to get us over the finish line. Yeah, that's definitely done the trick though, honestly. It's slowed them down enough, like you didn't really miss out on a lot at all. It's just the means of being able to slow these down enough. Okay, we've got the money for the super monkey now. Now, where we place it is not going to really matter, because the Dark Knight, when we get it, has something called teleporting. So what about round 24 and our lack of camo detection? Not to worry, we have this stack of old nails, in which is a brilliant item for Geraldo in order for us to deal with this early round menace here. For us to get as much single target damage as possible, we really need to go with Plasma Blast route rather than the middle route, otherwise we're going to really struggle against the Fortified BAD around 28. So heat tip darts it is then, so that we can pop these lead balloons. Honestly, one of the best supporting towers for a 2 Megapop scenario, or even further beyond, because it can unsubmerge when it needs to attack, and then submerge again when you don't require its services anymore. So, unsubmerge you. I still don't like the change that Ninja Kiwi made to the submarine so that it's a toggleable button rather than being something which you can change by pressing tab all of the time. You just don't get that immediate response. There's a cooldown on it. Round 33 has camos, but now we have a means of dealing with the camos by removing their camo existence. Now I'm contemplating my next maneuver here, because I do want to get ourselves the bottom cross path here, or just upgrades in general, but my next objective now is thinking about what I want to do for the next set of few rounds here. So I'm going to put 2 villages over here so that we can make our upgrades for our Sun, so I keep calling it Sun Temple here. Our Super Monkey, just a tad bit cheaper. Like, it decreases the prices of knockback and ultra vision and plasma blast and all that jazz, but we do have another issue here, which I feel like we're going to resolve by using some pickles. It does decrease the Super Monkey's attack speed, but each projectile it chucks out has twice the amount of popping power, as in damage. I should just say damage, honestly. Damage, popping power. Ninja Kid would like to have it so that the popping power is the pierce rather than the damage. Speaking of damage, we need to deal with these lead balloons and our lack of ability so far to be able to damage them. So that's all of them done and dusted. Maybe a sharpening stone would be a bad idea since we don't have any real means of pierce increase. Like, we do attack faster using like laser blasts and plasma blasts like that. Like, attack speed is indirectly a means of pierce increase, but it's not pierce increase per projectile like some people think that it is. It's just you're throwing more projectiles out, not increasing the potency of per projectile. Round 39, we're going to go up to sound like a creeper from Minecraft. Or maybe that's even be incorrect. No, I sound like a villager from Minecraft. So there we go, round 39, we've got our upgrades to our Super Monkey for just a little bit cheap. No. Don't target the 2 regrow rainbows at the end of a round there without popping them. Maybe we should switch this to last, honestly, at some point throughout the round. Make it so that it just targets the regrow rainbows and nothing else. Okay, let's go to last. Let's target the regrow rainbows. And okay, let's switch you then back to first since now all the regrow rainbows have been neutralized, but that was better, but still no cigar. Fine, what about a sharpening stone? We've still got the pickles, but let's go with the sharpening stone. Knockback and ultra vision activated. So yeah, the sharpening stone really helps out there, honestly, when it comes to the pierce of per projectile. Obviously, the ability to access this will go away once we get laser blast or when we actually get to the dark champion. While it's at dark knight, you can still use it, but when it goes up to laser blast, obviously its damage type changes, and when you change the damage type from a sharp attack to anything else, then you lose your ability to be able to equip the sharpening stone. Hence in the name, it's not called the energizing stone or the plasmerizing stone or anything along those lines. The normalizing stone. That just sounds like a really boring name for a stone, honestly. The normalizing stone. Let's go up to having Jerry's fire once we interact with the next lot of lead balloons. But honestly, I would like to get ourselves a MIB as soon as possible so that then we can go up to this later point up here, but obviously that's going to be a little bit troubling for our endeavors right now since we don't have the means in order to interact with purple balloons if they do summon out. Purple balloons, obviously if we went up to this stage up here, then we wouldn't be able to deal with them. Yes, I know, we do more damage with this, but we cannot because of purple balloons. I feel like our need for our next purple threat is at round 62, and then by the time that comes around we also our sharpening stone is expired anyways. YOLO, sorry. We're gonna get MIB anyway, so that's all good. Don't need to worry about that. And because we're going to be able to teleport around the battlefield using the Dark Champion, we also need to really think about like where we're going to teleport it, and so that we don't have like towers which are going to block good places in order to put down our Dark Champion at some point. So we really need to think about, also we've got the America flag out because America. However, we do have the MIB, we do not need to worry about any more of the threat of purples, unless of course we teleport our Dark Champion, or sorry, Dark Knight at the moment, outside of the range of the MIBs, and therefore you wouldn't be able to get the effects of it, so that then purple balloons would still be a threat. Yada yada. You get what I mean. We're going to get our overclock soon. Obviously, we're going to turn it into an ultra boost, and this will at some point be a homeland defense. But we really need overclock first in order for them to go up to Dark Champion because, well, we're going to be lacking that attack speed in which we desperately need. But I feel like getting the 2 monkey commerces up and running while we still have the means of upgrading our super monkey here was definitely the correct move there. Okay, you are like Batman, but I'm calling you Badman instead. You are Batman, but just the bad version of him, because nobody can truly replace Batman. Even the Legend of the Night cannot replace Batman. Bubble balloons no longer a threat to our existence, and we're going to be placing down only 1 glue gunner, which is going to be the relentless one, because I don't find we're going to find ourselves having the finances to put down A, 2 glue gunners, and B, that second glue gunner being the glue storm, just because we don't have the money for it. Like, we could try and circumvent having, like, homeland defense, but then I feel like then we're missing out on that bonus pierce and attack speed while under homeland defense, so that's why we're not going to go for it. I'd rather have homeland defense over blue storm, let's just say that. Ever since update 43 dropped, I've kind of been put off from doing any kind of 2 Megapop scenarios with other towers which I've yet to do 2 Megapops with, and it's just simply because over the past few updates, Ninja Kiwi has really nerfed Geraldo, so that then weaker towers like tier 2s, tier 3s, cannot really work as well without the meaningful benefits of Pickles, where you're able to do bonus damage against fortified balloons. Like, I really feel like Ninja Kiwi is really hammering down on Geraldo, even though Geraldo is still an incredibly useful hero to support your 2 Megapops towers. When it comes to the amount of damage that you do per projectile with a weaker tower, it feels like Ninja Kiwi is really hammering in on our potential here in order to actually do the 2 Megapops with that intended tower, unless of course you are a much better player at this game than I am, and then therefore it doesn't matter how many nerfs you're given, you are able to work around those nerfs because you're just such a badass. I mean, bad man at the game. Not being bad, by the way. Now, I do have a question for you, and this is not going to apply to everyone because not everyone uses it, but do you feel like that Balloons Tower Defense 6 would be healthier or more toxic in a way if double cash was not even there to begin with? Like, the existence of it was not there to begin with. Now, I'm just going to say this right now, for more casual players, for people who are not very good at the game, not having the means in order to acquire additional money at the very beginning of your journey in order to go somewhere, so especially like a boss scenario, I honestly feel like that not having it in place, especially for Elite, would be kind of more toxic in a way for especially players who are just getting into the game and trying to discover strategies, because there are some boss scenarios nowadays where it's like, well, I can't fathom out a strategy, I just need to look up X, Y, or Z YouTubers' guide on how to do it. And it feels like every single time you delve into a scenario, it always follows a very formulaic, very samey strategy of using the same towers at the very beginning of the game. And I'm talking about a scenario where there are no tower restrictions. There is nothing put in place to stop you from using XYZ tower. All the towers are the same. You have no restrictions. It's always like Spike Storm this, that over there this. Ability timing placement here. Ability timing placement that. It's just such a snowball of annoyances. Okay, I think I'm going to fail this round actually because of the amount of regrowers here, but I honestly feel like that not having double cash is not good overall for the community, just because of, well, like the above points that I've just pointed out there. And once again, that was a better attempt, but still not that good enough. Okay, let's combine the different strategies there. Let's go with both the Globber Glue and the Jerry Spy here. And it's still not enough, because now that they're going slower, they can regrow fast. What can I do here? Okay, glob of glue, pickles, and Jerry's fire. Is this gonna be any better? Oh, they're gonna regrow back again. I hate this tower sometimes. People say that going Plasma Blast provides more pierce when it simply doesn't. What about without glue, just so that we don't have that additional regrow? I think that could work, actually. Yes, that's working. Not having the glue is actually beneficial for us, because then they don't have more time to regrow their layers. Did you see that? The last regrow there was a yellow balloon. Like, I don't mind if you are for or against double cash, but I just think that within an ecosystem like this, it should not be that people should be gated away from playing a game because they're using a asset that is in the game in which other people do not like. It's like that argument of like, well, you can't use double cash because you earn twice as much money. I don't care that you're not good at the game or not. Stop using it. Stop having fun. I've forgotten what that meme is called, but it's like a man is yelling at some people who are looking at a TV. But it's like, nah, you're not allowed to have fun. You're supposed to adhere to my own very specific set of rules because I am such a keyboard warrior. Which is what I think only an incredibly minority amount of people view. Like, there are lots of people out there that obviously don't use double cash, respectively, and they're able to accept when people do use double cash because, well, there are other kind of people out there rather than just one kind of person. Oh, gosh. Guess what? We're having ourselves a regrow issue here. I don't think Tube of Amazing Glue will work just because of the sheer amount of pierce, so let's put down a second creepy idol. And hopefully this is what we need in order to chuck back the regrow balloons enough so that we can deal with the rest. And also we now have the invisibility potion, which enables us to have increased range rather than the means of just being able to detect camo balloons. And this is going, well, I don't like to call it well just because of the amount of regrow balloons which are being chucked back. Look at this mess. Oh, I hate this so much. It's like no matter what I do, they're just going to be super duper annoying. Hold up, please, Dark Knight. Oh, it's mainly the regrows which I hate there. Gosh, that was so tight. That's what she said. Round 80. Here we go. ZOMG territory. Let's put you up. Now we're going to keep you where you are. We're going to hold out as long as we can just so that we can get to the Dark Knight. The Dank Champion. Sorry, not the Dank Champ. Sorry, not the Dark Knight. We've already got the Dark. Anyways, we've already got the Dank Knight. Right, you've been upgraded to Dank Champion. You're no longer bad man. But again, round 81 could prove some problems and... yeah, we're going to need pickles for these next few rounds. Like, when we get Dark Champion, then having pickles is a detriment rather than a benefit. But right now, let's try and hold on with just using pickles and not using Jerry's Fire. Because I'd rather have the upgraded Jerry's Fire, and I'd rather not have it at all for the remainder of the game until, like, the last 10 rounds. Just because then it'll be a waste of money. Going back to my conversation on double cash mode, inclusivity, but I think also more to the point, elitism is something that I really detest. And I feel like it's something that is always in existence because a person who's very good at the game likes to hinder people who are less off on a game because of their skills and knowledge at a game. That makes them incredibly complacent and thinks that they're a know-it-all of absolutely everything about that game, and if you disagree with them, then you are a horrible person that shouldn't exist in their eyes just because they have an incredibly fragile mindset. Round 83. But I just really dislike elitism in general. It's just such a fragile, egotistical mindset to delve yourself into, thinking that you're somehow better than everyone else just because you have this bit of knowledge that makes you better at the game, or this bit of experience that makes you feel like you are somewhat of a self-entitled individual. Round 85. Let's go up here. It doesn't matter where the Dark Champion is now, because going into Dark Champion, regardless of cross path, upgrades his projectiles up to the normal damage type, which is the best damage type. Or even acid is also up there with normal, because acid is literally the same as normal. Because we're such short range with our Dark Champion, having the invisibility potion which increases our range is going to be very nice to have, honestly, because we don't want to not have that increased range because of the lack of range that we have in the first place, and also because now that we are the Dark Champion rather than just the Dark Knight, every single bit of free space in which we can fit the Super Monkey on is now our means of being able to plop down our Dark Champion here. I don't care if you're a casual player, I don't care if you're a very good player, I don't care if you're a player that can't do 2 Megapops, I don't care if you're a player that can't do 2 TC, I don't care if you're a player that can do 2 Megapops or 2 TC or other kinds of unique scenarios within a community. I would rather just have a bunch of a bunch of people in a community, regardless of how good you are, that we can all agree that we can have our own respective boundaries of one another, rather than always intruding or providing rules and restrictions to put in place because of some kind of petty, selfish intentions behind those rules. Round 96, ZOMGs, very easy to deal with now, increased damage, and just better at everything, really. See, round 97, warp you over to here. Warp is another word for teleport, by the way, or dark shift. Dark shift. We'll just go with dark shift because it's the name of the ability. Round 98, what's gonna present itself to us. Oh, I've lost my train of thought now. I've had like 2 weeks of like nearly every single day I need to attend to retail work because a colleague at the moment is really unwell with shingles. So very understandable, because I heard that shingles is such a horrible thing to have. Not only is it like a ramped up version of a rash, but it also affects your nervings as well, which is a horrible thing to go through. So understandable why they're off. It's just really annoying that I'm always feeling like a bit of an anchor and constantly relied on and also cover for somebody else, rather than like the 10 other people that work there. It's like, why am I the only one that can cover? That's just what I'm trying to get at there. Round 102, we just blasted through all those purples. DDTs, no thank you. Our next objective is the Ultra Boost. Holy moly, round 103 has a lot of peers to try and deal with, honestly. Not a fan of this round. This can sometimes be a bit of a thinker in order to how to proceed forward. So if we... How are we going to deal with... I think we should just have our invisibility potion active, honestly. Like, we're going to have 3 more uses out of it, leading up to 118, and then 133, and then from the rest of the way there. Oh gosh, 104. This is even worse than 103. Look at this. Look at what we've got going on here. Like, we could probably afford Ultra Boost, but we can't get it up because the ability is still off cooldown. Yeah, around 104, so utterly stupid. I'm kind of glad that Relentless Glue is helping. Okay, I feel like that is definitely the worst of... Why did you do that? Why? I didn't even... maybe I did have my mouse hovered over you, but that just seems like such a stupid thing. God, this game just hates me at times. Like, the amount of times I've died to yellow balloons surely should be enough evidence to suggest to you that this game really truly does have a knack against me. Does help against the DDTs. I must admit that we are doing wonders against these DDTs now that we are giving them the old glue. Relentless Glue, making them stun anytime a nearby balloon, which also has, well, which has Relentless Glue, is popped. Oh great, isn't this just such a tease? We can't get Ultra Boost just yet because we're missing 510. We're not going to get that. We're not going to apply Overclock because we want to get this. Come on now. Let's get it. Yes, we finally got it. No, we're not applying it to our submersion support. What benefit does that have? None. That's what. Actually, the only benefit of an Ultra Boost stack on our submersion support is that it decamouflages faster. But what kind of benefit does that have? Now, in round 108, round 108, you should have the means to be able to detect camo boosts. And if you didn't, then what made you get to that point in the first place? Next objective, Homeland Defense. On round 111, we have achieved the ×10 spanner. Even when I am suffering, I am having fun. Especially when we hit 10,000 subscribers when we are attempting to do the Base Mortar 2 Megapops challenge. That would be very fun, wouldn't it now? Doing it with a tier 2 tower, let alone a mortar monkey. That is going to be incredibly fun. We should only use call to arms when we have mid-round pierce cap issues. I say mid-round rather than end of a round, just so that we have time for our call to arms to then recover and be able to use it at any time. I feel like the best strategies in these scenarios are when you can use vital to use abilities from the beginning of a round onwards, so you have a maximum amount of time in order to try and familiarize yourself of how to interact with that round in case it is an incredibly difficult scenario. Round 118 is coming to a close, which means round 119 has 3 bads to try and take down. We can't avoid these 2 towers from getting some sneaky pops here and there, so we just have to play it by ear with what we have going on here. Let's place the wonderful Dark Champion over here, and then it can continue popping. It defies the laws of physics that other towers are constrained by. The ability to stay in one spot is usually a thing that most towers suffer through. But not this one. This one can warp in and out of reality however it sees fit. We are so close to Homeland Defense now. I can almost taste it. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Oh gosh, 145 left to go. Will you stop teasing me, game, and just give me what I desire? What I have earned? There we go. Homeland Defense is up and active. Got ×10 Ultra Boost. Got all, or not all, but we've got a lot of attack speed bonuses and also pierce bonuses when this is active. It's just a good time all round. So what's the next course of action here? Well, we're going to place down Spike Lords here and there, but just not Spike Lords. Spike Factories down here so that we can prepare for round 140, but I'm just going to put this over here in preparation for when round 140 comes along. It's just going to be a 2-0-0. It just means that we can have jungle drums whenever the Dark Champion is over here, when we're trying to deal with the Fortified BAD and the regular BAD on 100. Oh my god, we need a pierce increase. We need a pierce increase. Look at all these Fortified MOABs. Do not like that one bit. Oh, that one camo regrow lead on the beginning of this round. Just a precursor for things to come on that round. You stand no chance, Fortified DDTs. Not a single lick of a chance. The complete and utter destruction of the balloons, however you want to pronounce it. Balloons, blondes. Is there an absolute correct way of saying the name of the game? Oh, dearie me. The terminology that some people love to constrict themselves to. Round 131. This is what I think is the biggest RBE round between round 6 to 140. It has so many Fortified ZOMGs on this round, but it trumps the Fortified BAD on round 140. We have 10s all round, ladies and gentlemen. 10, 10, 10. So many 10s. We don't have a lot of 10s Well, we do have a few 10s. At least 27 10s here. If you add up both of those numbers together. Oh, we do need homeland defense because this is a big amount of PS we're trying to get through here. Not good. Not good at all. It would be a shame if we accidentally press this ability and ruin our entire run. That would be funny, wouldn't it? That would be incredibly funny for you who's watching. For me, though, that would require a restart. Periodic spawns of DDTs along with a huge bunch of ZOMGs. This is truly one of the rounds of all time. Then again, all of them are in a way. It's really weird that Chimps goes up to round 100, but yet the preset rounds of what occurs throughout the round itself goes up to around 140, and then only a few rounds after that, when it goes into free play, are also preset rounds to where what summons from the beginning of the track here. So around 163, just a huge amount of super fortified ceramics and regrow super fortified ceramics and camo regrow super fortified ceramics and all that jazz. Then there's 200 with a 2 fortified BADs. And then round 263, like a homage to round 63 and 163 with a huge bunch of fortified DDTs. Round 137. I feel like we're going to need homeland defense in order to deal with all these regrow issues. So not regrow, PS issues that we got going on here. But I feel like it's too late in the round in order to properly utilize that. But at the same time, the earlier we use it, the better, because we need homeland defense around 138. But look at all these balloons going on here. I should make better use of the teleportation here, because we're only a few ZOMGs down, and now we've got the backlog of this. Oh my god, look at all this PS. No, 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 you are not allowed into this club. The club of being allowed to exist. Yeah, we'll have it in the bag this time around because we're not dealing with this huge group of ZOMGs at the end. Deal with only a smaller portion of the ZOMGs in comparison to our previous attempt, but things are still not looking certain as we are. Well, we've only got one of these left, which is pretty good. Thank you. Round 138, a huge amount of DDTs to deal with. Let's see. Okay, let's use it now. Just look at them all be deleted. That was such an amazing thing to watch, honestly. Okay, so we've got 10k left on to use for things. So I'm going to put this over here, actually. It's going to be really weird, but we're going to need the Dark Champion over here at some point in order to deal with the remnants of round 140. So let's just deal with that. I'm going to hold off on creepy idols just in case we need to put them somewhere else. But we've definitely got the money in order to interact with around 140 with like mines and all that jazz. Just a good time all around, honestly. Oh, okay, hold on. I'm actually going to think of doing something else instead. I'm going to preemptively move the Dark Champion up here. It's going to be able to deal with this round even when it's up here, just so that we have the maximum amount of means of using the Dark Champion and also being able to like be in range of everything when it comes about, so we have the ability ready for when we need to use it and all that jazz. So around 140, it's time for you to die, Fortified BAD. Hopefully. So I'm going to move you over here. The idea, I forgot about something. There we go. Sorry for the quiet 140 there, but I did need to concentrate there. So, when you get the strategy fathomed out there with the Dark Champion, like, it's really unique when it comes to other 23 Megapop scenarios because you can move the Dark Champion around without requiring a middle path helicopter in order to do so. So that is a very viable 23 Megapops. I would still say though that the Sun Avatar is just infinitely easier, especially when you can do +2 fortified damage bonus, which the Pickles used to have. Thanks, Ninja Kiwi. But that, folks, is what we call a very viable strategy. Like, I didn't even need to move my Dark Champion over here, which I thought I was going to need to do so, but we managed to get through that entire scenario without needing this other monkey village over here. So that was pretty good, actually. I really liked about round 140, to be honest. Like, it was really smooth. Like, you don't always need to focus on the Fortified ZOMGs because they're just so slow anyways, and sometimes they get caught up in the creepy idols, so that you can just delay and just go after the regular bad. And then sometimes you can actually try and deal with the regular DDTs and the Fortified ZOMGs simultaneously, like get them all out and done out of the way simultaneously, which then just leaves with the regular ZOMGs at the very end there. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what you thought of this video down in the comments section below. And I should have just called that dang champion. You know what? That's absolutely fine. Call it whatever you wish. So there we go, folks. Let me know what other kind of scenarios you'd like to see me try and perform on the channel. I'm not going to try and do an ABR with Grandmaster Ninja and Super Brittle. Somebody recommended that to me, and I'm like, have you tried it out for yourself to see if you can do it? Because I sure as hell don't want to try that. That sounds like a load of terrible times, especially because of the fact that, well, the Grandmaster Ninja can't pop frozen balloons anyways, which is what you're going to be suffering with anyways. Thank you all so much for watching, everybody, and please be sure to check out 600% Elite Lich while you still can, because that is a load of fun. Like, a lot of fun. Have you ever had fun before? Take care of yourselves, everybody, and have a wonderful day.